Hello, everybody, and welcome to Croaked. This is a podcast me and a couple of buddies of mine have set up. We're going to be covering a few interesting topics on this episode. Overwatch 2's launch, Overwatch 1's shutdown, the PS5 in its current state, and a few other interesting topics. So stick around. I hope you enjoy. And at the end of the podcast, we'll be linking all of our socials, and be sure to check the description for those as well. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. So, Overwatch. Overwatch shut down unexpectedly. I didn't hear anything about it. I don't know if you guys read anything about it beforehand,
really.
I only get my news from you.
but I'm the worst news source, honestly.
Whatever you've told me, that's what I believe.
Yeah, I didn't read any articles about it happening beforehand, and it seems like just the day before it happens, they're like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, Overwatch 1, you can't play it anymore." Like that's the thing of the past now. Like, why?
yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
So let's explain to the viewers what exactly happened. Break it down.
Basically, Overwatch 2 got announced, and it's going to go free to play. So, in order to, I guess, support Overwatch 2, they're going to close down Overwatch 1 servers completely. And so yesterday, or the day before, I saw an article that said, "Oh, today's your last day to play Overwatch 1." I think it was October 3rd, I believe. And
Yeah, this is a video game?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Just break it down for the viewers. Just I mean, I know what's going on. I know all of it, but just for the viewers.
just to give them an idea.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
No, but yeah, that's kind of crazy in my opinion. That's honestly kind of nonsense in my opinion. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, when you told me the other day, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of a game cutting off their previous game servers that quickly. Like, I mean, I know games that they kept their servers live like from the 360 on into the Xbox One and like for years. And then
Right.
and then even when they cut it off after years, people were like, "What? Come on."
Yeah, for real.
But I can't imagine doing it right, or like not even before or not even putting the new game out yet, and they were already cutting it off.
Exactly. Like, it's Blizzard Activision as well. So like, they have the space to allocate for a server to still be up. I guess you could do dedicated servers, but console is pretty much dead now.
Yeah.
You might have private server. I don't know how private servers work on Overwatch, or if they'll still if you can even do that. Maybe you can do it through a certain means, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. That's just a lot of maps and characters and skins that just are totally gone now. I had all sorts of mythic skins for all sorts of characters. I had all the mythic skins for Bastion. I played a lot back in the day. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, I think the lesson here is to just make enough money that it doesn't matter. You can just buy the new game.
Yeah.
When's the new game going to be
free
out,
to
by
play?
the way?
It should be out today or tomorrow, I believe, actually. So it's going to be free to play, which is cool and all, but they've changed a lot about the game. They've removed certain maps, they've removed certain game modes. I don't think all the characters are going to be there either. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I could be wrong on that. I might need to look up a little more information on Overwatch.
It's all
2
8-bit now.
It's 8-bit. Some guy named Jeffrey throws sausages at you the whole game. Like, I don't know.
It's the first 8-bit first-person shooter.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just totally seems nonsense to me to do something like that, because Overwatch 1 still had a massive competitive player base in terms of people who were really, really dedicated, and it just got crossplay too not long back. That's another thing that baffles me. They just added crossplay, not maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And I remember re-downloading it just to play crossplay, and like I was having hella fun with it.
Well, to be fair, like if you look at Blizzard's other games, it's not like people play their old stuff, you know? So they're just trying to follow what's worked in the past. Like you don't see them keeping WoW servers or, you know, like StarCraft, none of that. Like
it's funny.
that's
Well,
in the
it's funny.
past.
It's funny you mentioned that though, because they did finally release WoW Classic a few years back, and that was solely because they couldn't get people to play current WoW hardly anymore because they changed it so heavily.
Yeah.
I remember using the free trial for WoW over and over and over back in the day and trying to get as far as I possibly could in like the 30 days that it gave you.
That's quite
Classic.
the trial.
Yeah. It's that's the back in the days with the Mr. T and Chuck Norris and Ozzy and those commercials. I'm Mr. T and I'm a night elf mohawk. Yeah.
All those commercials where things were just smashing into the screen.
Yeah.
Play our game.
Yeah. I want you to play World of Warcraft. Ozzy, this way, buddy. That's this way.
He's just pointing at like a trash can in the alley. I want you.
We're not even in the studio yet, buddy. Come on. That was probably when he was at his like worst point with that that stuff, I think.
With what, like Overwatch addiction, or what was he?
Yes,
was he
WoW addiction.
WoW addiction. What was his class?
Yeah, man, I wish I could remember the class he used in the commercial. I could probably look it up actually. Hold on. Now I have to know. Let's see.
Probably something cool like basketball player.
He says, "I'm Ozzy Osbourne and I'm the Prince of Darkness."
So they just let him improv, or what?
I guess. It doesn't say his. It looks like he's a. I'm trying to make it out. It's hard to see his character, kind of. It looks like he's just a freaking guy. I don't know what. I think they gave them their own. I believe they gave them their own character models for the commercials because I remember Mr. T's looking like almost exactly like. I remember Chuck Norris's looking like him as well.
Yeah.
I think that was probably around the same time that South Park had their episode as well about WoW, where they like the whole episode was like in the game. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. The one where Cartman gets the anal probe from the aliens. That one.
That's the first episode. That's a classic.
Yeah, that's South Park, right?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, man.
Guy who thinks that South Park is just one episode.
Yeah.
You're talking about South Park, right? That's the one where the fat kid gets the alien probe. That's South Park, right?
No, I was just gonna say about the South Park classic episode. That episode, not to go back to it, but that episode is such a classic. I think it's one of the most popular episodes. It's also like mentioned in The Sopranos. One of the like early season of The Sopranos. Like Tony Soprano's kid, he mentions the episode and like talks about Cartman getting probed by the aliens and shit. But yeah,
I don't remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like I was just gonna say, the PlayStation 5 apparently is being jailbroken. A lot of people are like jailbreaking the PS5 and downloading like custom packages and shit.
Yeah, I seen that. I didn't get to read the article about it, but I was reading through the comments on a Facebook group for PlayStation people. Like, people were pretty pretty hyped about it, honestly, because right now it's the state of the PS5 right now is terrible, man. I mean, it's not even worth buying at the moment. Like, unless you just want like a faster processor or something on your console,
Right.
or just really need a new console and don't plan on buying a PC or something for some reason, like, which that's your own preference, but right now, if you're going to buy a PS5, don't do it. Buy a PC if you're going to buy something that expensive right now, because honestly, the PS5 has it's like it's been out for 2 years now, almost, around about,
Mhm.
and
Mm.
Well,
it's still,
COVID time though, so like 8,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
8, but also like 2 months.
But like,
COVID jokes, everybody. COVID jokes.
COVID jokes. Um, but it's so weird because the only like big titles still for it are freaking like COD and Demon Souls Remastered. I think it was Demon Souls Remastered, or was it Dark Souls Remastered again? I can't remember. I think it was Demon Souls.
I think it was Demon
Um,
Souls, yeah.
and there's still a lot of glaring issues with how it runs older gen games. So like, why even bother with it? And then like a new Xbox is like, it's pretty underdeveloped in my opinion as
Hmm.
well. It could have been a lot better as well. I mean, I think it plays games really smooth, but in terms of its UI, like the dashboard and everything on the new one, it's just I don't like it. It feels weird.
Yeah, man.
It feels like you're scrolling through ads on a
That's
on an
true. That's
old
true.
website.
Well,
Yeah.
have you tried turning it upside down?
I didn't think of that. Oh, ADHD brain. You said Sopranos, and I was thinking of Sopranos when they were watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he
Oh
was
yeah,
like
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
there. He's like, "What am I doing on the TV?" It's like, it's not you.
Have you guys seen the new Jeffrey Dahmer show? What do you guys think about that?
There's a new Jeffrey Dahmer?
Well,
Somebody
it's the same old
arrest
Jeffrey
him.
Dahmer.
Same old Jeff. Same old Jeff, different look. See the classic Jeff you've come to know and love in a new light.
He's
Jesus.
Jeff. Who's that serial killer?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. No, we sat and watched through all of it. I think I fell asleep kind of towards on the last episode, but we finished it last night, I want to say. It was pretty good. I liked it all right. It's different from a lot of the serial killer shows, but
Right.
one thing that's getting me is people are acting like Jeffrey Dahmer just didn't exist before this freaking show came out.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
baffles me. It's baffling me to no end, the amount of people who are just totally clueless, and the amount of articles that these companies are putting out, just vomiting up just ridiculous, absurd, like nonsense articles like, "Oh, people are warning people not to dress as Jeffrey Dahmer this Halloween." It's like, no, they're not. Nobody's nobody's saying that.
Yeah.
And and Jeffrey Dahmer has been a Halloween costume since he got arrested.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's not something new. I think the big uproar was that they used the family's like likeness in a lot of the more personal stories without asking, which I totally get the outrage that the families might have with that stuff. But at the same time, it's nothing like new, if that makes sense. It's nothing very new. It's a lot of the it's just it's nothing that's not been covered publicly already. to 1,000 times over. It's just told in a different way that makes it more understandable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy accurate though. Like it's the most accurate depiction of Jeffrey Dahmer to date. Like Evan Peters, the guy, he's like famous for always playing like messed up roles, like he did in American Horror Story as well. But this time he was really like he was really good in the show. He knew exactly how to imitate everything, his accent, and like his whole vibe just was hella creepy.
So how do you know what was so accurate about Jeffrey Dahmer in the show, though? That's the real question.
Yeah, you weirdo.
Well, you know, you see pictures of like his apartment. Like I remember like seeing a bunch of pictures of like Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment and shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
And it's the
pictures,
exact same. Well, yeah, I've been there
Pictures,
once. Barely got away though.
Yeah, once.
Barely.
All right, Adam Dahmer. You know what Adam is an anagram for?
What is an anagram?
Adam.
A for Adam. D for dang, it's Adam.
A again for Adam. Again.
Yeah.
Again. D for Dahmer was portrayed very accurately in the new show.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was a very good show though. I'll give it that. I normally don't like to watch a whole lot of true crime stuff. I can get into it here and there, like every few months I'll get into a spree where I'll watch like a bunch of YouTube videos or something, but I got to be in the mood. It's like horror movies for me. A lot of horror movies, I have to really be in the mood to watch horror, unless it's like a classic cheesy horror movie, like you know, Friday the 13th, something like that.
So how much cheese is in Friday the 13th? Is it like a main? I've never seen it. Is it like a main thing, cheese?
What do you mean?
The main guy is made of cheese. He's like Swiss cheese. He's like
that way he wears the
melted.
mask with the holes.
He's like this burnt conglomerate of Swiss cheese.
Oh, he's Swiss? It's like a Swiss movie? A foreign
he's
film. Oh, I see. I love foreign films.
I come to slash you up, yeah.
Oh, he seems so nice, honey. Let him in.
Man.
I'm gonna slash you now if you don't mind. He's apologizing.
Canadian Freddy.
Yeah. Sorry. Slashing him.
I tracked some dirt in on your carpet there.
I noticed the dog needed some water. I gave the dog some water. And just starts slashing.
Gee, I hope these bloodstains come out of your carpet there.
I noticed you had 2 kids. I only killed one of them, though. Spared you the other kid. Sorry about the first one.
Oh yeah, I got
Trust me. I know how it is when it gets up to them double digits there.
he like elbows him, like nudges him.
Instead of like a torn up sweater, it's like a sweater vest.
Yeah. He's wearing like the hat with the flaps.
Yeah. Safari flaps on the yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah, PS5.
Yeah, man. I don't think the PS5 is worth it right now, and I don't think it will be for another few years for sure. I think the controller's good. I think if you want to buy yourself a PS5 controller and use it on your PS4 or your computer, definitely do that. I think it's probably one of the more like better controllers on the market right now. I personally don't enjoy Xbox controllers the way they feel. I don't like the analog placement, and they're a little too fat for me. But
where exactly are you placing the analog? Because that might have
lightly on the underside of my penis.
On my own analog.
Yes, on my own analog. On my joystick, if you know what I mean.
It's analog to analog.
I only play analog.
Yeah, I like Xbox controllers. They fit my hands a little bit better. I don't know, the PlayStation controllers usually feel a little bit smaller, but they've changed the Xbox ones enough, and they've also changed the PlayStation ones enough that I think I like PlayStation better.
Oh yeah. A lot of people preferred Xbox because it was bigger, but
Yeah.
like definitely I see the problem with like the PS2 and PS3. When you hold a PS2 and PS3 controller like now compared to like even a PS4 controller, but especially compared to the PS5 controller, you're like your fingers are touching on the back and shit. Like
Yeah.
it's so small, like it's so like awkward to hold in your hands now when you're so
Yeah.
used to the new ones. But I know the PS5 controller's a little fatter this time around. It's a little bulkier, but I've held one. I know I really enjoy the ergonomics of it. It's
Mm.
very, very well put together. The Switch controllers do the same thing, and I hate it with the Xbox layout. They put the analog sticks in weird spots, and I don't understand why that's the preferred way. I've never I've never subscribed to that idea.
Well, some of us are just off kilter. And you're gonna have to accept that.
Hmm.
Oh, you're tilted, eh?
Yeah.
What about Fortnite?
I think the GameCube controllers take the cake as far as like the
Oh God,
wonkiest controllers ever, but like I love them. I love GameCube controllers so much, but they're so insane.
I hated 64 controllers. I hated having to learn how to properly hold one. I should reiterate that. After knowing how to hold it properly, like holding it from the middle instead
Yeah,
of on both sides,
yeah.
like it's a lot better. But still, one of the like, what the hell were they thinking
It was a
designing that?
super weird design, yeah.
Yeah, like
They were
what in
trying
the
something new, I
world?
guess.
Yeah.
Well, but that was the first controller to have a joystick though, right? Or was there some weird thing
Um,
before that?
I think I guess if you're gonna be technical about it, Ataris were like technically,
Oh yeah, sure.
but like analog stick like you're referring to, I guess, is I guess would yeah, I would say that or did the Dreamcast come out? Yeah, Dreamcast came out after 64. So yeah, I would say so. Unless there was some weird like offshoot controller that you can buy, some third like aftermarket
Yeah,
controller or some shit that you could buy. I would say that's
yeah.
probably true.
I don't know. I mean, I like the N64 controllers, but I think that's only because that was like the first controller I ever used. Like that was the first
Oh yeah,
system that I was playing on, you know. We
yeah,
had like a Sega Genesis and an N64 and a Super Nintendo, but like
yeah,
I never really played the Super Nintendo. I kind of started on the N64, so like when it's your first taste of video games, it's like when you don't know anything else, it's like that controller
yeah,
still feels good.
for sure. I think my first game I ever played was Pokemon Yellow on a Game Boy, and
I,
then I went to Mario 64 next because my uncle had his 64 in the other room.
yeah,
Uh,
that's a great game, ahead of its time.
yeah, Mario 64 is so ahead of its time, man. Oh my gosh, I still play that to this day. Yeah, I remember playing Mario 64 and like my uncle constantly, you gotta hold it. You're holding it the wrong way. You're holding it the wrong way. You know, like,
Well, he wasn't talking about the controller,
Was it like the
but
first game to go like third person?
maybe I could be wrong about that, but
well, I think a lot of it was like the camera changes were not like I don't know if they were like the first of its kind of stuff, but like being able to switch the camera angles in the way that you were able to in that game
yeah,
was
that's
kind of
for
impressive.
sure. Yeah, it was. It definitely probably I'd say that paved the way for how third-person games and cameras worked in general,
Yeah,
like for future games.
because even like I was replaying Ocarina of Time on the Switch
Yeah.
a little while back, and they still have the same camera controls as they had on the N64,
Yeah.
and they're good, especially for the time.
Mhm.
But man, it's hard to go back and get used to those.
Oh
Where
yeah.
you're so used to like everything having dual joystick, and you can just simultaneously run and turn the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah. I
Like the
played
fact that in Ocarina of Time you have to run and just trust the camera to like move at the right time, and
yes.
otherwise you have
Oh
to like
my gosh.
flick the other joystick to like
Oh, I
face the
forgot about
direction,
that. Yeah, Toy Story 2 was like that. You had to face and then wait for the camera to adjust unless you hit the back button and it like snapped behind you or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was streaming Mario 64 the other day and I kept messing the camera up because of that very reason, because it's been a little bit since I played it. And then
Yeah.
going back to it and it's just like, you hear Lakitu going, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, and you're like crouching for no reason. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wah!
shit.
You start crawling around and shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh man.
I just wanted to see your mustache. Based on our discussion of Mario 64, the PS5 is just not worth it.
Based on our discussion of Mario 64, don't buy a PS5, buy a Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
After
That's
this
good advice.
podcast goes out, all PS5 sales just go down.
Yeah. PS5 sales down the drain. Like
N64 sales on like eBay are just like through the roof. People selling N64s for like $1,200.
yeah, it becomes like impossible to get a 64. Oh my god.
We had two N64s because rich, but one of them, our Saint Bernard stepped on and jammed the reset button in, and we could never get
Oh
it out,
man.
and so we couldn't
Them reset buttons were
play it
bastards.
because it would just like constantly reset. We couldn't get it undone.
I've seen several 64s with the reset button smashed in like that. It's like, they got so bad over time, dude.
Yeah.
I had a wireless. I had a what is it, a Wave Dolphin or something for the GameCube. It was
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
wireless GameCube controller, and like it just sat in a box. It wasn't like dirty or anything. It just sat in a box for a while, like with some other GameCube shit.
I think it was just called a Wavebird.
Yeah, Wavebird. Yeah. It sat in this box for a few years, and then like I got it back out and like hooked my GameCube up and started collecting GameCube games again. And when I went to try it, it was all the buttons were like sticky, like somebody had poured syrup in all of the buttons. I didn't understand. I didn't even understand how it could get like that, but it was totally ruined somehow. Like didn't like it turned on still and the light was worked and it still like connected to the thing, but it would not work. So I don't even know how that, like I don't know if that was a common problem with controllers back in the day, if there was something in them that made them like fucking, I don't know, like condensate a certain way, and like maybe like the grease inside the controller like makes them I don't know.
I think you just got visited by the syrup pixie.
Yeah, the syrup pixie. Hey guys, it's me, the syrup pixie. Give me your controllers.
Yeah, the syrup pixie visited me when I was a kid one time. I woke up, my sheets were all sticky from syrup.
Gotta pay this troll toll to get inside this boy's soul.
It sounds like you're saying boy's hole.
They got a great podcast going.
Oh yeah. Anybody who hasn't watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you have watched the show and haven't listened to their podcast, do one or both of those things.
Absolutely. They do episodes where they watch episodes of the show and then like go over them and stuff. Oh, they're so good. So we got God of War coming out soon,
pumped.
don't we? When is it coming out?
November, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Now it's going to be exclusively on PS5, so make sure you buy a PS5.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, it's not going to come out on this
Oh,
current gen.
is that really true? Fuck, man.
From what I understand.
I like how we just said it's just not worth it. Just don't buy it. But aren't we excited for God of War?
Yeah, man, backtracking like hell, but not to hate on Sony as a company, they do probably some of the best like titles for like their own like exclusive titles. Like they'd have some of the best exclusives out there, hands down. Like Xbox, they got fucking Halo and a few others that are really, really, really good, but they just don't have quite the barrel that Sony's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could consider Bethesda stuff as Xbox exclusive now, but I don't consider all that like as a necessarily a you know, it's like Netflix getting Arrested Development, and then when you watch it, it says a Netflix
Oh my
original
God.
series. It's
Oh
like
yeah, because
no,
they produced like the last season or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the same concept as that for
Yeah.
me.
It's like, hey
So
buddy,
Nope.
nobody's watching that season.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how that works for me. I feel like Xbox's exclusives remain with the 360, like what they had and whatever like Xbox as their own Xbox game studio is producing, not their
Yeah.
subsidiary studios that they've bought out over time.
Yeah, they were killing it back in the day for sure.
Absolutely. They easily dominated the PS3 360 era, but
Yeah.
solely because of like competitive gaming got really big around the time, and like Xbox was just like, I don't know, something trended about Xbox
Yeah.
at the time.
Did they
Something
have Gears of War, or was that PlayStation
Gears
2?
of War, yeah.
Xbox. Also, I don't know if you guys seen this, but there's a new trailer that dropped out. They're remaking Dead Space. Not sure if that's an Xbox exclusive, but it's very promising.
I think that's PlayStation exclusive. I think Dead Space was always I thought Dead Space was always PlayStation, but I could be wrong. Or was it Dead Space 3 that was exclusive to PlayStation? One of them was exclusive to PlayStation.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
I do wonder, that makes me wonder though, what happened that made Xbox trend so hard when it came like when 360 launched? Because like I remember like the original Xbox, like people were like excited for it or whatever, but like it was not like near as massive as like the 360 when it came out. Like I remember the 360 was everywhere marketing wise.
Yeah.
I mean, even the PS3 was too, but like the 360 like really squeezed its way in everywhere. It was in like Transformers. I remember watching Transformers, the first one, when like all the Decepticons started taking over all the random electronics, and like dude was carrying a brand new Xbox down the road, and like
Yeah.
the Xbox turned into a robot and started attacking him and shit. Oh my god, that's like a burnt memory into my mind. But yeah, like I wonder what made it so like popping, like for like
Yeah, I think it really just was the marketing, like whatever their
must have
their
been.
push was, their team was just a little bit better than PlayStation.
I'm sure Halo 2 and stuff coming out as well. Was it Halo 2 on the 360 or was it 3 that was on the 360 first? I want to say 2 was on the 360 as well.
I'm sure if you were in Japan, the marketing for the PlayStation was a little bit heavier.
Oh yeah, for sure. The PS3's marketing was weird. They had those weird like baby doll commercials in the white room where it would like float and stare at the PlayStation. They had some weird marketing.
That never happened.
That's exactly what happened when I got my PS3.
I don't. Yeah, you know the Billy Eichner, like the Billy on the Street thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that one clip where he goes up to people and just says name a woman, and they're like,
Yeah.
any woman.
He has some really great stuff, man. He's
Yeah.
genuinely funny.
He just name a woman for $1. What?
It's so funny.
Name a woman.
Yeah. It throws people off so hard. Gosh. It's kind of mean, I guess, but like back in the day when like Jimmy Kimmel would go out and interview people and be like, can you name all 50 states? It'd just be like, and people just like laugh at them for like not knowing the 50 states or whatever. he kind of molded it over time, I guess, into more like, oh, did you know like so and so was dead? And they'd be like, oh yes, yes, tragic news. I heard about that this morning.
God.
And then
And
like,
then they'd be there with him.
yeah, I'd be there with him or something, and then, or they act like they know something. They'll just they'll lie so
Yeah.
easily. Like,
Yeah.
dude was asked about what his favorite movie this one actor was in. He was like, oh, I love him in the one movie with so and so, and he plays this guy, and he's real down on his leg. He went on about it, man. He just made up this
Jeez.
entire movie.
What he's doing is he's saying his own screenplay that he wrote,
Yeah.
and then he's just he's looking for their reaction of like, "Ooh, I wonder if they
Yes,
maybe they
yes.
like it. If Jimmy Kimmel likes it."
Well, if Jimmy likes it.
He's like arguing with some director. He keeps bringing the script to. He's like, Jimmy Kimmel, I saw his face. You didn't see his face.
It's like Kramer going up to that kid when he moves to Hollywood with his
Oh yeah,
script, and he's like shaky. He's like, I'm not normally like this.
Fred Savage, or I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Fred Savage.
Yeah, I don't normally do this.
Yeah, I don't normally do this.
That's Seinfeld, guys. Seinfeld is this TV show from the 90s.
Seinfeld with a Z.
You won't find out on a PS5.
Kids today. Generic boomer. Man. Kids today.
Yeah, tune into Croaked for more boomer humor.
Back in my day, we was inside when the street lights came on. We used to drink from the water from the hose, and it didn't hurt us.
You think he's just gonna be like normal boomer stuff? He's like, it's because of the goblins. Like, wait, what? That's not.
Yeah, they progressively get more like
it's
dementia.
not like relatable. Yeah. Oh well, you had to come in, otherwise you'd start floating up in the air until you lost oxygen.
Where's my wallet?
My wallet's gone.
You're my son? Yeah. That's terrible. My wallet's gone. My wallet's gone.
Man, any more news? Anything breaking besides my bank account?
Are you okay, dude? Like, do you need help?
Seriously, if anybody out there has any extra money. No.
Yes, I need help. I'm sorry. Didn't want to
ask. These two guys are holding me hostage. They're not paying me. They're telling me to just continue to make bad jokes until the podcast is over. You guys hear about this new snake game? You get it on your phone. It's a snake. Makes a little brick snake.
I got that on my Sony Ericsson.
Does it have the battle pass?
Yes.
Wow, imagine a snake battle pass.
It would just be the snake, and at the end would be this snake's head, and you would unlock every piece of the snake.
Honey, I completed the battle pass. Get in here.
That's perfect.
Come back for season 2.
Oh man. Thank you everybody for watching the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow everybody on their socials. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell here. All the socials will be linked down in the description. And in case you cannot access that, you can subscribe here on this YouTube. You can subscribe to Joe over on Twitch at Joe_ABL. You can subscribe to Adam over at Blackbeard_420 over on Twitch. And we really appreciate your guys' support. Let us know what you thought. Be sure to share and just let us know how much you enjoyed it. It really helps us out a lot, and I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you.